I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. I'm going to turn your level up just a little bit. Hey, what's up, guys? Scott McNally here with Dave Pulcinella for the Pulse of Bodybuilding and Fitness. We are still figuring this thing out, but I think we're going to make it work. What's up, Dave? How you doing, man?
What's up, Scott? It took us, 45 minutes to get to this point?
Yeah, no, actually, like 37.
About twice the length of the actual show.
But I got
to set it up.
I got to fan out though. I got to tell you about my North American experience this year.
Yeah, that was pretty cool actually, because it must have been like walking into a movie for you, right?
It was. And I was looking for you. I was looking for Dave Palumbo to be like walking down the stairs. And
were you walking up those stairs and thinking, "Oh my God, this is like one of the last things that Anthony DeRezzo did with his life"?
Well, I kind of did actually. Honestly, I kind of did. Yeah.
It's really weird too, because that scene of him walking up those steps, right, was taken. My brother was just filming people in the hotel.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after everything happened and he realized and figured out who the guy was and what happened that he went back to that footage and saw it again in hindsight and realized that was the guy.
Okay.
That was him walking up the steps several hours. He only had a few hours to live, and who knew,
Yeah.
You just never know. It's crazy.
So to clue everybody else in, I was with my girlfriend, Lindsay Eddick. She was getting ready to compete at North Americans, which was her first national show, and I came with her out there to Pittsburgh. And we got to the hotel, we walked inside, and I saw the main room, I saw the staircases, and I was like, this is raising the bar.
Which number? Raising the bar, 1, 2, or 3?
Let's see, that would have been
2.
That would have been 2.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You are a true fan of Raising the Bar series.
I've got the DVDs over there somewhere.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't even make those anymore.
He told me that. Yeah.
No more DVDs. I know. Isn't that terrible?
It is. But they don't even have CD players in your computer. Also, we don't have a USB port in Dave's computer, so we can't use his microphone. We're working on that, guys. There's going to be good sound.
Right.
There's going to be good picture. Right now, Dave's on his phone. And we're going to get this down, though. We're going to work toward it.
Look, it's going to be good no matter how we do it, what we use to record. If I have earbuds or a mic, it doesn't matter. It's going to be good because we're us.
Yes.
Let's face it. So I'm happy. But, this brings back memories, of the first call out. And it's good to be back on the air, man.
It was such a good
show. And the last
show.
time you and I did it was January, I believe.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
It was this year, though.
Yeah, it's I listened to every episode of the first call out.
How many were there? I don't even know.
I don't even know either. But I did listen to all of them. Yeah. I was at my blue collar job, and every day I had nothing to do except for do crappy work and listen to you guys talk. So,
because I'll tell you, we used to bullshit for 2 or 3 hours every show.
Yeah.
It was a long ass show, but people would listen to the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I did.
I'm just warning you now. I'm doing this show half lit, actually 3/4 lit. I've been drinking for an hour or so now.
Okay. Well, it'll lube you up.
But it always enhances things.
But the plan here is we are not going to do a 3-hour show, right? That's not the game plan here.
No, this is we're going to get in, we're going to get the job done, and get out.
Okay. Official.
Keep them wanting more.
Yeah, I agree. I think that makes sense. We're like a few minutes in right now. So what are we going to do? What are we doing with this show?
Well, I figure I'll have people just ask me questions. We'll have them send us the questions, right? It could be about anything, really. Okay. Even though it's the Pulse of Bodybuilding and Fitness, I'm willing to hear about anything, Okay. So whatever questions someone comes up with about life, bodybuilding, anything, we'll talk about it.
And we happen to have a bunch of questions here right now. You put out a thread. We're going to do this on social media?
Say again?
We're going to do this you'll put out a thread on social media type thing?
What I was going to do is I was going to put a thread out on Facebook and Instagram every week.
Okay.
Collect the questions, and then we do the show.
Okay, cool. And
so you have the list of questions, right?
I have a list of questions. They're right here. Where can people find you on Instagram if they want to submit a question?
At Dave Pulcinella.
Okay. You see how I'm asking you? This is my job.
like you don't know. And then obviously on Facebook it's just Dave Pulcinella.
David Pulcinella, I believe.
Damn it, you're right.
It is David.
How did I not know that?
Can I refer you to David for the rest of the show?
Yes, please.
All right, cool.
It sounds more. I feel like a sir now. I feel like an older gentleman.
Just to let you know, too, I put the contacts in, and it wasn't to impress you as much as I didn't want my eyes to reflect in the lights.
I didn't even realize you did that.
Yeah. Well, you don't.
That's
see
how
me,
unobservant I am.
You don't see me every day either, so it's also going to make it a little hard. I'm going to have to read like this. So
welcome to old age, bro.
All right, you want to get started with this thing?
Yeah, sure. What do we got, man? Who and tell me who's asking it too.
All right. So we have Julie Short here. She says,
okay.
I want to know how you work past hitting a plateau in your strength training. Less weight, more reps.
Oh, it's so cute. She's a new client of mine.
Okay.
And I'm going to address this as if I'm speaking directly to her.
Local client?
Specific to her. It's a local client. It's not a online client.
Okay.
So, Julie, in your case, it's not really a plateau. You're just weak. So what we have to do is we have to slowly build a mind-to-muscle communication. So the innervation, the nerves that serve that muscle, right now you're not able to really fire that muscle the way you want under tension and specifically target that muscle. So strength will come, but honestly, she's like 2 weeks in right now.
Okay.
She's just learning how to coordinate her muscles to do the actual movements and learning the movements.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that really we're not doing strength training with her. She's really looking to maintain muscle while dropping body fat. So with that specific goal, it's not really important to have any strategies involving specific strength gains, but the gains will come. Strength will come naturally just by a matter of repetition, doing it over and over again. And the nutrition plan that I have her on, feeding her enough nutrients to help the muscle repair and, just be paid. She wants, and I love her attitude, but she wants everything now.
Sure. Who doesn't?
She doesn't want to wait for it. Who doesn't? But she's intelligent enough to know that with time, these things will come. I think she's willing to do the work. So strength plateau, you're not at one, Julie. You're just starting off and you're just still a little weak and you're not able to really put all the force on the actual target muscle yet, but that will come in time.
I've got another basic question here, and this is
basic question.
I'll call it like a beginner's question. Alp Yigit? Does that name ring a bell? Alp, A-L-P? Alp Yigit?
Negative. Okay. No. Like, I don't know him personally, in other words.
All right. It might be a girl, because this person says, I want to start working out, but I don't want to get too big.
Is that spelled W-A-N-N-A?
Yeah,
both
it is.
Times?
Wanna. Don't want to get too big. What's your opinion?
I say, don't worry. It's not going to. It's weird, but bodybuilding is the only sport where the average person looks at the sport and thinks that they can excel at it by accident.
Yeah.
Oh, my earbud came out. Hold on. Like, in no other sport will you have somebody who's like, I want to take up running, but I don't want to be able to run, a 4-minute mile too soon.
Your
I don't want that
earbud's
to happen
upside down.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Now, does that make a difference to the sound quality?
No, it just looked funny.
Or just look asinine? Hold on, I need more wine. So yeah, I get that all the time. People are like, I have some of my posters on my wall of when I competed in the North Americans.
Yeah.
And I'll be sitting there with an average guy, and he's getting ready to get on the program, and I'll look at that picture, and I'm like, now, I don't want to look like that. I'm like, do you realize what you're saying? Like, every second of every day for months and months, and then years and years was spent with that one goal in mind, with that sole thing in mind. And I busted my ass and did things that you could never possibly imagine in each of my day to get that. And it's not going to happen to you by accident. But I know that the question was a joke, but I actually wanted to address it anyway.
So this person wasn't serious. This is I don't know.
So.
I don't know if they're following you.
So they're probably a jokester.
Yeah.
I don't think it was real. And I think there was like a bunch of like laughy faces with the tears coming out.
Okay.
Underneath the question.
It happens.
But I wanted to address it anyway because I do. It's actually a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It actually happens where people are like, I don't want to get too big. I'm like, why do you think that can happen by accident? Like you pick up and women too. I don't want to get too muscular. Like they're going to pick up a dumbbell and all of a sudden, like the next day, they're going to wake up with like one 17-inch arm and one 12-inch arm.
Yeah. You know what we didn't do at the beginning, and I feel like it would have been a good idea. We didn't really say who you are, Dave. I mean,
really?
We assumed.
We need to do that?
I think we assumed because.
Well, tell people who am I actually?
Well, first of all, you know who came into my head really? It was a guy named Mike Pulsanella. Because Mike, think about it. Mike would say like, what you need to do is start out by introducing who this is and what you're doing. Am I right?
Yes.
And then he would say, just get right into it.
Very often when I'm out and I'm recognized, right?
Yeah.
People call me fucking Mike.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm like, no, I'm Dave. I'm the famous one.
I've done it a couple times. I'm not going to lie.
Have you really?
I have, yeah.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. You know Robert Frank from Instagram? Facebook?
Yeah, I think so.
Very, very popular. Well, he messaged me the other day, and he told me that he saw my brother in his gym. I didn't know they lived in the same area, and I don't think he did either.
Okay.
So he saw my brother in his gym, and he was like, I saw him, but I was too starstruck to say anything. I'm like,
really?
No, I'm the famous one, not him. Get it right.
That's funny.
But I guess I'm not.
But Dave Pulsanella, he was I'm not even going to say star. I'm going to say the central figure of a series of documentaries.
Focus.
Yeah, central focus of a series of documentaries.
You can say star if you want.
Okay, star.
I'm not going to stop you from saying star.
Raising the Bar. It was a documentary series of films that his brother Mike Pulsanella. Yeah, I got that right. I thought I messed him up. That Mike Pulsanella had created, and really, I gotta say too, Dave, that video series, those movies were ahead of their time as far as bodybuilding documentary goes.
Were. No one had done anything like that before. Prior to that, the closest thing you had to that was Mitsuri Okabe.
Yeah.
But he was doing like things in real time where every set and every rep of the workout was recorded, and you're watching a guy work out for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was great, and everyone loved it. But when he came along and actually decided to tell a story with music in the back, are you paying attention to me?
Yeah, I got to keep our questions going.
I fucking lose you. you're like reading a book, like you're texting people back. Anyway, he was the first person to do that, and it was amazing how it took off. How did you come upon? Just out of curiosity, how did you come upon them?
I think maybe I saw a trailer on YouTube. I think that's possible. I think I saw one of the trailers, and I believe at the time maybe part 2 was out. I don't know if part 3 was out at that time. So
that was a long time ago. Were you competing at the time, or you were already like well into bodybuilding?
I was just starting to compete.
Okay.
And
so that probably those movies probably resonated with you a lot.
It did. I bought it, and I sat my girlfriend down, and I was like, "You got to watch this."
Really? Did she give a shit?
You're like, if you want to understand what I'm going through, you're gonna watch this, and she
did.
That's
the question. Did she want to understand what you were going through?
She did. She watched it, and then she competed too. And when she competed, she said, I thought you were being really dramatic about how hard that was. Like, I thought you were just being a baby. She's like, this is really, really hard.
It's amazing all the things that as a competitive bodybuilder, you'll be willing to give up and lose. Yeah. If you see the things I lost relationships, and people lose their lives. And of course, that's an extreme example, but back then I was willing to do whatever it took. It didn't matter. So I think people need to see that who are getting into the sport. All they see is the finished product, but what did it take to get there, dude? It's not what you think.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad I was able to be an influence early for you.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot. I do.
and the thing is, I felt like we should seat this as to who you are before I read any more questions.
Yeah, I know. How did we just go into this just assuming everyone knows who the fuck I am?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a really good point. I'm going to call that your error, not mine.
You can. And if I do look down, it's because I'm trying to keep my phone open. And
busting your balls,
and then it closes, and I've got that new phone.
Oh, I know what. Yes.
Do you have the facial recognition?
No.
It's facial recognition, so I have to like hold it up to my face to get it to open.
Oh my God, that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Well, that explains everything. Our technology is way off today.
It is. This is fucked. Can I say that on your show?
Absolutely. And I was going to say it if you didn't say it. It's so fucked. But hopefully the content will override the fact that the technology blows.
It will rise above, and next time our pictures are going to look better, and the sound will be better, hopefully.
So,
right?
Would you say we're going to raise the bar?
You got it. I like this because normally I do podcasting. I can't go.
And now you can go for effect. You can do things for effect that you wouldn't be able to hear that.
Exactly.
Or this.
Exactly.
You see, I'm deep in thought.
Yeah.
What do we got, man?
All right. Let's see here. My question is, are you going to do these videos while doing cardio and start off by saying, okay, so a lot of people ask me to make a video, so here it goes. This is from Jeremy DeCamp.
I love Jeremy. Dude, why does everyone do that? Why do they think that? And how did this start? I don't know how it started. You know what I'm talking about, where everybody who does a video thinks they either have to be driving a car, which I think is insane, because I know for a fact for me, I would not be able to divide my attention between navigating the road, which I can barely do when that's the sole thing I'm doing, and doing a podcast at the same time and trying to have interesting content. I would definitely crash and burn. That's number one. Number two, if you're doing, I'm going to go on record as saying this because it pisses me off. If you are doing cardio, I can do this because we're on visual.
Yeah.
And you're doing your podcast or whatever at the same time, you're not really doing your cardio.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Hey guys, so doing my cardio. I figured, well, I'm doing my cardio. No, you're not fucking doing your cardio. Because if you were, it would be like, guys, I forget how to do this. Hold on. My foot fell. Hold on. I figured I would just, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
So you're not doing your cardio.
We got it.
There it is.
It's good.
Sit,
That's a good
stay.
point. That's a good point, though.
I mean, honestly, what are you doing? And why does it have to be that you're doing something at the same time that you're doing your podcast? Just do your podcast.
Yeah.
And no, everyone knows people have not been emailing you left and right asking you this question. That's not true. Just answer the question without having to feel the need to say that.
I got to tell you, I shot a video, and I was training at a gym, this strongman gym, and in the intro of the video, I like filmed the road driving up to it, and your brother saw it, and you know what his one comment was?
What?
He said, "Promise me you will not film while driving anymore."
He's got a huge thing against that.
Yeah.
He will not do it. He will not text and drive.
Oh, well,
He'll either wait till a red light or wait till he says nothing is that important. And I swear to for the life of me, I don't understand why people will do a podcast while driving.
Yeah.
Like, who started that and who was like, that's the thing. That's what I need to do. I need to be driving somewhere and talking to the phone, which is like in the passenger seat.
Maybe they like feel like they have to own it. Like they don't want to feel like they're going to own it. Like, oh, I just happen to be doing this thing and I'm going to like take my...
That's a great
You know
point.
what I mean? Like, I'm real
not really
busy.
Doing this. This is not playing.
Yeah.
I just happened to be driving and I thought of something real quick.
Yeah. I'm real
Everyone's
busy.
been asking me. Right.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of emails. No, I really haven't. I'm going to be honest with you. No one's emailed me about this. I'm just going to answer it anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where'd we go here? As to my question, I would like to ask what you think about hormone therapy for older athletes, both men and women. And this is from Max Cervantes.
Oh, hey, Max. What's up, brother? Good Facebook friend of mine for years.
Me too. He's a good dude.
It's huge. You know, how old are you now?
41, I think.
Okay.
Old enough to say I think.
Just round down.
Yeah.
As bodybuilders, like, you know, I started doing hormone replacement early in life, you know, way before you should be. So at this point in my life, I absolutely have to do it. I can't not do it. What the hell was that?
Nothing.
Liar. What was that? Who are you talking to while you're talking to me? You bastard.
Listen, I'm real important. I can't help it if people are going to text me.
Apparently, you're more important than me because I haven't gotten one text yet.
Not one. I'll be back. I got stuff to do. Let me know when it's time to read the next question.
Right. Remember how I was like, oh, man, I'm going to be bothered by text the whole time. I don't know if this is going to work out. Well, not one. Not one. So anyone who's watching this, feel free to text me. What were we talking about, bro?
We were talking about hormone replacement.
Max Cervantes. Yeah. So at this point, I need to because my own body's not going to produce what it needs to produce at this point. So there's no off time for me anymore. There's just TRT.
Okay.
Do you do the same thing? Do you do like a blasting cruise? Do you mind talking about that?
No, I do TRT, and then if I'm gonna do something, then I'll do something. But I come back down to HRT dose.
But there's no off for you.
No, I'm done with that.
You would fucking die. I think it becomes more and more important as you get older to do that because what people don't realize is that, obviously having your testosterone levels be 10,000 isn't the greatest thing for you, but at the same time, having it be like 60 is not good either.
Yeah.
So, people have this blanket idea that steroids are bad, but if you're replacing what you're losing and you're putting yourself in an optimal range with 150 milligrams a week, there's very little that's unhealthy about that. In fact, there's a lot that is healthy about that.
I'd agree with that.
That's all I got.
What do you? Let me ask you this: like back in the day, when you were competing, were there times that you would come off back then? I'm probably making this too long, but yeah.
No. I think as long as it's interesting, I'm still interested. Are you?
I'm interested. I asked the question.
There we go.
I asked the question.
Yeah, that's a really good one because back then, every year I did.
Yeah.
So right around September or so, I would come completely off. And I got to be honest with you, sometimes I wouldn't do a PCT.
Huh.
I would just allow my body to normalize, which I really don't think it ever did. So by the time I was going back on, my body hadn't recovered. So you're creating a situation where it's layered on top of each other year after year. And when you do finally come off, if you do, for a long enough period of time, you'll just be a eunuch.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So what I did every year was I took from like September to the new year off of everything, off of all supplements, off of training, and off of cardio. And I would focus on other things like my music and things like that. So I would start composing music. Luckily for me, I had that not to fall back on, but as a separate alternate interest / passion.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well for me where I was able to ignore bodybuilding. And I think really that's the main reason why it took me till over 50 to have an injury. Because if you think about it, I competed for 35 years injury-free.
Good point.
So what that means, and I think the reason for that is the extended period of time of doing nothing, no cardio, no weights or anything for a good 3 or 4 months every year. One year, I did it 6 months. And that was the year of my last competition, the North Americans, in 2007. I had taken 6 months off of everything. And if you remember, there's a scene in my kitchen where I'm like, fuck, I'm going to take my shirt off. And my brother's filming me. And I'm like, this is my starting point. These are my genetics. This is where I start. And I don't mind showing people I'm going to turn this into a physique worthy of an IFBB Pro card in 6 months. And I didn't mind showing people that because that was me. After 6 months of nothing.
Yeah, I remember that. And you turned it around, So
I did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy. Because once your body's in that downhill mode where you're basically skinny fat and you're putting on fat and losing muscle daily.
Yeah.
It takes a period of months before you even get back to where you were, before you can start making progress on top of that. It's a lot. It's an overwhelming task, but what else did I have to do?
Would you say that was your best?
It was definitely my most shredded ever.
You know
what I did that year? That was different. I did a no test cycle.
No kidding.
Year.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. And you didn't get any kind of no libido issues or anything like that?
No, oddly enough.
Huh.
I was surprised. First of all, I was 42.
Yeah.
So you would think I would have, but I just did. I did no test. And I had heard about it.
Yeah.
How, and I'm surprised at myself for actually experimenting with such a critical, crucial show, knowing that would be my last attempt at a pro card. I'm surprised I did that. But it actually paid dividends because I was peeled.
Yeah.
Like I was transparent. You could see the blood flowing through my blood vessels. You could see like the cells, and she was crazy.
All right, on to equally as important topics. This is from Kelly Portland. What's your take on anal?
I believe that's Pollard.
Pollard? Oh, yeah, it is.
And she would ask that question, and my answer to that is, it's fine unless the girl farts on my penis, or if it happens by accident, and you know what I'm talking about. if you're just not focusing, you're really going at it. It comes out one hole and goes in the next. Not a good deal.
No.
So there's an actual answer to that question.
It is good. It's good.
Do you have something to contribute to that?
I'm all for it.
How about receiving it? Never mind. I assume she's talking about giving it.
Yeah. Also from Kelly, she says, what things would you have done when you were, what things would you have done?
Would you have, right.
There we go.
Yeah.
When you were younger that would have benefited your physique and level of fitness now?
Oh, what a good question.
That is a good one.
Because you know what I didn't do any of? I didn't ever stretch. I had a problem with doing just the things that were directly related to growing muscle. You know?
Okay.
And the reality is, and you know this, you have to stretch.
Yeah.
You have to do your foam rolling. You have to do that stuff where you release. And the other thing I think I did that was wrong or detrimental was very early in my career, I locked into I locked into the 6 foods.
Yeah.
Well, I locked into the basic movements that I felt that worked for me the best, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it also meant that I never switched up my movements, which also ends up meaning that I was working in the same exact plane over and over and over again and kind of wearing grooves in my body parts and my joints. And now I see the folly in that, because if I had done different movements and mixed it up, hitting from different angles and doing some lateral things instead of everything in the same plane, I may not have had my quads tear just by getting out of a chair at 52 years of age. And my shoulders both tearing within 6 months of each other, and all those things. Now, I understand I started at 13 years old.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding. These things are going to happen, whether you use heavy weight, low reps, or, high rep. It doesn't matter what you do. You're wearing your shit out.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been tempered a bit if I had mixed up my movements a little bit and done some of what we call the bitch work, which I did none of. I didn't do any of that. And I know a lot of guys who did the same thing.
You're too hardcore. You're too hardcore.
I felt like it was a waste of time. Like I'm not trying to be limber. I'm not trying to be Stretch Armstrong. I'm just trying to be huge.
Yeah.
So why am I going to go to the gym and spend 1 second of time doing something unrelated to growing? I just couldn't see the point in it. I don't know.
How do you say this person's name? Faraz. Faraz?
I say Faraz.
Faraz? Okay.
Faraz, yeah.
So we got one more question from Faraz.
Okay.
If you could go back and change your training ways, workloads, intensity, etc., would you, given your injuries? I guess it's almost a related question.
It really is. 2 things that pop into my mind immediately. One is the change of direction and movement, which we already talked about. And the other was I would have done somewhat of a periodization, We can say I did a form of periodization because I would take the end of the year off of everything. But that means that there's also 9 months where I'm busting my ass. And I don't stop a set until I've hit positive and negative failure.
Every set.
Every fucking set. I don't know if you're the same way, but the set wasn't over. Like Tom Platz used to train until he couldn't even twitch. Like the muscle wouldn't even twitch. I did every set like that, every workout, every time. 9 months. So you better believe after that 9 months, I needed that 3 months off.
Yeah.
And that was my version of periodization, but it really wasn't. There should have been, ebbs and flows to what I was doing. I think that would have preserved my nervous system a little better. And I know for a fact that, it would have preserved my joints a little better.
Makes sense. Totally.
Yeah, doesn't it though? But you don't think of that when everything that you're doing is linear. It's just towards this one goal and this myopic pursuit of this one thing. And anything that didn't apply, like when I went into the grocery store and I was doing my shopping, and I'm shopping for the 6 foods, everything else in that store would just disappear.
Yeah.
And I'd be left with just like, it would light up like a pinball machine, the foods that I needed to eat for what I was trying to do, you know?
Where are you at with that now?
I'm much more varied in my eating.
Yeah.
I still eat the 6 foods, but there's like, 27,000 other ones that I will include from time to time. And the other thing, to answer that question, to answer Kelly's question and his question, would be I wouldn't have followed the 6 foods is really low or no fat.
Yeah.
We realize that. There's no dietary fats. There's no problem with doing that for the last 8 weeks or 12 weeks before a show. But I used to follow too similar a diet year round. So I don't think I got the necessary fats that I should have to preserve my connective tissue. So that's something I might have done a little differently. Like now I include oils and avocado and fats and nuts and stuff like that. But I didn't then. So I think that's cumulative over the years where, your shit dries out.
Sure. Did you use like fish oil and stuff then, or?
I would. That's, I think, the saving grace with the 6 foods is that I did couple it with supplemental fats.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would have been a real disaster. And the other thing that we know is that having your fats that low does have an impact on your hormones. So
absolutely.
Not that I wasn't putting in, exogenous ones, but still, it would have helped if my body was producing some of its own as well.
Well, even like cholesterol, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. The show must almost be over because I'm almost out of my wine.
That's it. That was the last question. We made really? We made it that was about 30 minutes.
Was it 30 minutes?
About 30 minutes-ish. Yeah, right around there.
Well, hopefully it was 30 good minutes and people enjoy it, and we're leaving them wanting more.
I think so. I think we'll get better.
I'm already good. You have to get better.
I'll get better. We got to get you.
The technology.
We'll get that.
I don't want to be narrower than you. I had to go through my entire bodybuilding career being too narrow. So on my podcast, I don't want to be too narrow.
I'm going to sit like just a little closer to the screen every.
Are you going to out-angle me?
Yeah, every episode. Yeah.
So this son of a bitch.
So this is episode 1. Anything we should close with here, Dave?
I'm a little bombed, man. So I don't know. I'm a little fuzzy, but that's cool. I answer questions better when I'm drunk.
We're gonna try.
No, man, I'm really happy to be back doing this. To be honest with you,
yeah.
Gives me something to look forward to and something to do, and keeps my brain fresh and giving some people some info.
Oh yeah, and I get to.
How many shows do you do a week?
A lot.
That's too much, man.
5, 4, somewhere in there.
Do you ever get? Which what are they again?
We've got everything in Advices Radio. That's
right.
So we've got Advices Radio, and we have Blood, Sweat, and Gear. We have Muscle Minds, and now we have a new show called Drugs and Stuff with Dave Crossland.
I gotta tune into these, man.
And
the Blood, Sweat, and Gear sounds really interesting.
That's good. That's a fun one. That's with Skip Hill, who was your
okay. I love him. Yeah, man, love
Skip and S2H. They're both on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scott Stevenson is on Muscle Minds, and we also have another show that I'm not on called Clinical Muscle with
now is that
Dr. Steve Ogden.
Ogden. Yeah,
and
good friend of mine.
VJ. Yes, and VJ.
Good
period.
friend of mine, and VJ, right?
And then
now you have Pulse of Bodybuilding and Fitness,
and we have Bodybuilding Nerds Radio too.
So, now, is this the only one that's going to be visual?
As of now, yes. We're pioneers in that we're doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, exactly right. We're pioneers who are 10 years late. This show is the perfect time, and I'll tell you why.
Why's that?
The timing is perfect because not only am I done my wine, but I have to pee again.
Perfect. Well, let's get out of here.
My bladder size is the perfect size for this show. I had a great time, brother.
Yeah, me too, man. So how do we close this thing out?
Well, it was a fade into obscurity.
Okay, sounds good to me. All right, guys.
Love it, brother.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
This
sport takes up every day from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. It's easy to begin to obsess.
It
doesn't matter. They don't know what it is and they don't care.
Brilliant. How ahead of his time.
It distorted the whole concept of exercise and nutrition.
You know, if he couldn't do what he loved to do, which was bodybuild, he'd rather not be alive.
I believe that David is going to do this till he dies.
Everything I have right now is from bodybuilding.
It's going to kill him.
I feel like that's the only thing that I have in my life that keeps me grounded.
There's two things that I really love in this life. I love bodybuilding and I love you.
My goals now are to try to go to the national level.
That's the kind of mindset that I need in my life.
2 years ago, I realized it's not in the cards for him.
There's no way I'm gonna hang it up.
In the end, who's going to remember you and for what? What legacy are you going to leave?